Hey folks, Muzly here. Welcome to my Google Stadia channel. I'm here trying to convince you that Google Stadia is the future of gaming. Sit back and watch. First of all, what is Google Stadia? Well, in short, it's a cloud gaming service. What that means is you don't need a high-end computer to play the most demanding games at 4K resolution at 60 FPS. In fact, you don't even need a computer at all, but we'll get into that later. Now, when you buy Google Stadia, currently it's only available for $129 or £119. You get a controller, a Chromecast Ultra worth £70, though you can find it cheaper elsewhere, and you get access to a Stadia account with 3 months of Pro access included. There are two tiers of access, Pro and Base. Pro is $8.99 per month, that's pounds, or $9.99, and that gives you access to 4K streaming at 60 FPS and surround sound. It also gives access to the free library of games, which will launch with only Destiny 2, which already exists, but new games will be added every month. The base account gives you 1080p streaming at 60 FPS with stereo sound, but you do have to purchase games that you play. And isn't it true that you have to purchase games on any platform? There will also be other games that are free to purchase, but pricing isn't available as of yet. Stadia is going to launch with 12 games, one of those being Guilt, a Stadia exclusive, but many more will follow soon after launch. So that's what it is. Now let me tell you why I think it will be a roaring success and it will change gaming forever. Number 1, compatibility. To use Google Stadia, you only need a screen and a controller. Whether it's a PC, laptop, a tablet, a phone, or even just a TV, you can play on Stadia. There are limits, but it's probably the most portable and compatible gaming platform that I've ever seen. It's so portable and compatible that you can even begin playing on one device, such as your tablet, then you can pause the game, switch off the tablet, start up your TV, and continue from where you left off. I've never heard of such a thing before. Compare this to the competition, it's no contest. With PlayStation Now, you need either a PlayStation or a PC. Both of those will cost significantly more than Stadia, and the only added benefit of PlayStation Now is that you can download games and play them locally. Project xCloud, the Xbox cloud gaming system, can only be played on a tablet or a phone as far as I'm aware. Correct me if I'm wrong. Number 2, scalability. Now, scalability is true of any cloud gaming service, so this isn't unique to Stadia, but I do believe Google are in the strongest position out of all the competition, considering the servers that they have in every part of the world, the networking infrastructure that they already have in place, as well as their background in providing cloud services. YouTube, hello? The quality of the games that you play from the cloud can improve infinitely without you ever having to upgrade your hardware. All other hardware upgrades are going to be done by Google, and this is going to happen without you ever needing to know, without you ever noticing. As games get better graphics, you'll benefit immediately. No more spending hundreds or thousands on new graphics cards, RAM, processors, backend storage, hardware. Google is doing all of the hard work here. Number 3, integration. I've already mentioned that you can pause on one device and pick up from where you left off in another, but I didn't mention State Share. This is a unique feature that allows you to share your paused game via a hyperlink with others so that they can attempt the game from your paused location. So the entire state of the game can be shared with loads of people, and this could open up huge possibilities with streamers especially. They can share their paused game with viewers and see who can complete the boss or a section of a game the fastest. You can figure out optimal play and you can share it with everyone else. It's almost like crowdsourcing a solution to the game. That's just an idea. But then there's crowd share. This is where a streamer can share a hyperlink so that viewers can join the queue to play with the streamer. And this is built-in interactivity and social aspects of gaming that is not seen anywhere else. Google have obviously been working really hard in these aspects of Stadia, and this is just one of the things that I think will really set it apart from the other cloud-based platforms. Number 4, esports. Now in esports, fairness is everything. Even in tournaments, people have been caught using aimbots and other hacks to gain advantages over their opponents, and this is probably the most frustrating thing in all esports. With Stadia, everything runs on Google servers, so unless you're the most talented hacker on the planet with government-like funding, you're not going to be able to run aimbots or vision hacks. Now, I'm sure there are a bunch of clever hackers out there that will figure out some ways of getting small advantages, but at the moment it seems very unlikely, and while lots of people are dismissing Stadia as a platform for serious esports, their reasoning, to me, doesn't hold up. They cite things like the high-end graphics and the cross-platform play as a reason against Stadia in esports, but surely Google could introduce low graphics settings for serious play. I don't see how cross-platform play disadvantages PC gamers either. If you use a PC to play now, you can still use your keyboard and mouse for Stadia. Obviously, those using a controller will have to either make the switch, or they're going to suffer the wrath of those who have. But most serious gamers use PCs anyway, so grow up and just get a mouse. Alright, number 5. Google Stadia is ready now. So it is launching, or depending on when you watch this video, it has already launched. None of the other cloud-based platforms have launched. They're not ready to launch. They're not going to be ready until next year. Now that's a huge head start, and on top of the other benefits of using Stadia over the other competition, I can't see how Stadia is going to fail. Obviously there will be a huge number of PlayStation players or Xbox players who won't pick up Stadia because they'll just buy the cloud version of their own console because they've already got the games that they love and they want to play those games on the cloud-based system. But for people like me, a PC gamer who doesn't own a console, it's a no-brainer. This is a way of Google sucking up the PC market into the console market for a fraction of the price. And Google Stadia is going to improve very rapidly over the coming months with more games, more features, more support being added all the time. Now finally, I would like to counter some of the criticism that's been thrown at Stadia. Firstly, the cost. A lot of people complain that it costs £8.99 per month plus you have to buy the games. Well, you already do that with Xbox. You have to buy the console and you have to pay for live and then you have to buy the games. But look at Stadia. The handset is infinitely cheaper than an Xbox. The cheapest Xbox, the latest version, is 200 quid. That's 22 months worth of subscriptions, and that's only if you choose to subscribe. The base subscription is free, and that gives you 1080p 60fps gaming. The only thing you need the Pro subscription for is the library of free games and the ability to play at 4K. So cost is not an issue. Secondly, launch titles. Lots of people hate that there are only 12 games on day one. There are a further 12 coming a couple of weeks later, and there are even more coming a couple of months later. Now if you look at the other launches of consoles, you'll see that 12 is a pretty average number of launch titles. The original PlayStation, for example, launched with 8 games, and it was one of the most successful consoles of all time. The N64 launched in Japan with only 3 games. 3? There were 5 games for the US launch and still only 9 games by the time it reached the European market. And the original Xbox, that launched with 12 games, and look at how successful that was. The Xbox 360 admittedly launched with 18 games, but loads of those were already available on the first Xbox, so do they even count? I don't get the uproar of only having 12 games at launch. It seems pretty normal to me. Digital only. People hate that your games could just disappear if Google decides to pull the plug. Well, isn't that true of Steam? Isn't that true of any game nowadays? Nobody's worried about Steam. People aren't worried about downloading any games. In fact, I can't remember the last time I had a physical copy of a game. When was the last time you put a game disc into your computer? Exactly. Stop bitching about Stadia. Alright, this next one, big data requirements. It is a good argument, but only really because American broadband companies are absolute parasites and they have monopolies in the cities in which they operate. For the rest of the developed world, we get unlimited broadband, and I'm talking truly unlimited. Also, if you watch YouTube videos, like you are right now, then gaming is going to be the same. All you're doing is downloading the video stream that Google servers feed you. Now obviously there's a little bit more to it than that. You have to upload your instructions to the game as well, but that's minimal. If you can watch YouTube videos, you can play games on Google Stadia. And for my American friends, just get better internet. Alright, the next one, the next argument is that Google cancel lots of things. Hey, this is true, but how many of those things did you even know about? How many did you care about? A company that's experimenting on the cutting edge of technology, obviously they're going to be shutting down a lot of things. And the projects that most people cite are Google Glass, a project that was legally shut down due to privacy issues of having people walking around with cameras on their face all the time without anyone knowing that they're recording. And Google Plus, a project that actually still exists and it still runs, it's just that almost literally nobody used it, so they closed down the consumer access to it. They didn't bin it because they didn't like it, they binned it because nobody used it. And I mean actually nobody. So there you go, there's my defense of Google Stadia and why I think it is the future of gaming. I do admit that I am a bit biased because I've pre-ordered the Founders Edition, but if you're still not convinced, consider subscribing. I'm going to be uploading all my content to this channel of Google Stadia. You can see it for free and you can make your own decision as to whether it's a good idea, whether it works, whether it doesn't work, and if the games are worth playing and how good they look. Hopefully I'll see you later. Peace.